All right, so welcome to this deep dive. Today, we're going to be looking at Sumonta Saha,
Uh-huh.
who is an undergraduate software engineering student. We've got his CV. And just a heads up, it is packed. So this is going to be a good one.
Awesome.
I'm excited.
I'm ready.
All right, so right off the bat, just looking at the skills, it's React.js, Tailwind CSS, GitHub, MySQL, CC++, Java, JavaScript Express, Node.js.
Wow. That's,
It's a lot, right?
yeah.
What stands out to you just seeing this?
I mean, it's a really impressive range,
Yeah.
especially for an undergrad. It seems like he's comfortable with both, front end and back end
Yep.
technologies.
Yeah.
I mean, that suggests he's got a grasp of the full software development system,
Yeah.
which is really valuable.
Absolutely. And you know what else is interesting is the achievements section.
Okay.
Look at this. Second place in the Code Samurai Hackathon, first runner-up in the IE Branch Fest, top 10 in the IT-verse Hackathon.
Oh, that's a lot of hackathon.
Yeah, top 14 in the IT-verse project showcasing, top 5 in the mobile app and game idea competition. It's consistent, too. It's not just like one-off, like a lucky,
Right.
win. It's consistent high rankings.
Yeah, that's pretty significant, placing that high consistently in hackathons. I mean, that shows that he can not only handle, the technical stuff, but also problem solving, teamwork, and working under pressure.
Right, exactly.
And those are all really important,
Yeah.
in the tech industry.
Oh, absolutely. And speaking of problem solving, this next one really got me.
Okay.
750 plus problem solved.
Whoa.
Leak Code, Code Forces. He's got over a 1050 rating on Code Forces CodeChef, 3-star rating on CodeChef. But wait, there's more.
Okay.
Past level 2 in Google Foobar Secret Invitation.
What?
Now, for those who might not know, can you explain what that is?
Sure. So Google Foobar, it's like a secret invitation-only coding challenge.
Yeah.
That Google uses to find top talent. Like, you don't apply for it. You get invited
Yeah.
based on your search history
Yeah.
and your coding skills.
So just getting the invitation is impressive.
Oh, yeah, absolutely. It means that they've noticed you
Yeah,
and they think that you have potential.
exactly. And then to pass level 2.
I mean, it's huge.
Yeah.
It's basically Google saying, we like what we see.
Yeah, we're impressed. Okay, so we've got technical breadth, consistent performance under pressure, and this amazing ability to tackle complex coding challenges. But there's more.
More.
Open source contributions,
Oh.
Hacktoberfest participation, personal projects like the comprehensive Git and GitHub tutorial with over 15 stars on GitHub, and the GitHub follower notification action bot
Okay.
with 11 plus stars. Now, for someone still in school, these contributions are pretty notable. Why are open source contributions so valuable, and what do they tell us about Sumonta?
So open source contributions, they're a great way to learn and to collaborate. And it really shows initiative, a willingness to learn for other people and give back to the community.
Yeah.
In Sumonta's case, it shows that he can work with Git and GitHub, which are essential tools for software development. But also, his tutorial, it shows that he's willing to share his knowledge and help others learn.
Yeah, I like that. All right, so let's look at some of these projects, because this is where the skills really come to life.
Right.
EcoSync, waste management in DNCC.
What is that?
So this was a hackathon project where Sumonta was involved in development, authentication, and he even integrated Google Maps API for route checking. What do you think about that one?
It's pretty cool, using technology to address real-world problems like waste management.
Yeah, and it's not just a basic solution either. I mean, he's got dynamic role-based authentication, route optimization with Google Maps. He's really thought it through.
Yeah, definitely.
Okay, next up, CCS Autorickshaw Management System. So this was an academic project where Sumonta developed a website to streamline autorickshaw management at his university. And he handled everything from user registration, role-based access, to real-time monitoring. This is a very specific local problem.
Yeah.
What do you think about this approach to problem solving?
I think it's great that he's applying his skills
Yeah.
to solve real-world problems, even, small local ones.
Yeah.
It shows that he can see a need and use his skills to create a solution that improves things.
Yeah, I totally agree. Okay, so we've got this incredible blend of technical skills, practical problem solving, and even a user-centric approach.
It's a good mix.
It is. But we're not done yet.
Oh, there's more.
There's always more.
All right, ready.
So it's not just systems, right? It's about understanding users.
Right.
And he developed Rent IT, online product renting app.
Okay.
This is an Android application where he really focused on UI UX design. What's the significance of seeing this user-centric focus?
Well, it shows that he's thinking about the whole picture.
Yeah.
He's not just coding. He's thinking about how people are going to use the app, how they're going to experience it.
Yeah.
And that's really important.
Absolutely. Okay, we also have projects like Atmosins for real-time air quality monitoring, and even a 2D game called Survive IT.
Wow, that's a lot of different projects.
It is. It really is. Any final thoughts on this collection?
I'm really impressed by the variety. It's not just hackathon challenges. He's also working on real-world solutions, and he's thinking about the user experience.
Yeah, it's a great mix. All right, so let's shift gears a bit and talk about the foundation that supports all of this.
Okay.
So Sumonta is currently pursuing a Bachelor of Science in Software Engineering at Shah Jalal University of Science and Technology. He's got a 3.83 GPA.
That's impressive.
It is. What role do you think a strong academic foundation plays?
Well, it gives you the theory.
Yeah.
The critical thinking skills,
Mm-hmm.
the problem-solving frameworks, all of that is really important in software engineering.
Absolutely. And, we talked about his university projects. But let's go back to EcoSync. This waste management project really exemplifies the blend of technical skill and social awareness. Can we unpack that a bit more?
Sure. So EcoSync. It's a great example of using technology to make a positive impact. He didn't just build a simple solution. He incorporated dynamic role-based authentication, route optimization with Google Maps API. He really thought about the real-world complexity.
Yeah, it's really impressive. And SEST Autorikshaw Management System is another great example of this practical problem solving. It's a very specific local challenge. What does that tell you?
I think it shows that he's willing to use his skills to improve everyday life, even on a small scale. And that's really important too.
Right. It's not always about the big flashy projects.
Exactly.
Okay, let's go back to his competitive programming. Over 750 problems solved on platforms like LeetCode, Codeforces, CodeChef, High Ratings. What skills are honed through this kind of rigorous problem solving?
Well, competitive programming.
Mm-hmm.
It really pushes you to think differently. You have to learn how to optimize your code, how to solve problems quickly and efficiently.
Under pressure.
Yes, definitely under pressure. And Sumonta's ratings, they show that he's got a strong grasp of the concepts.
Absolutely. And we can't forget Google Foobar.
Oh, yeah, that's right.
Passing level 2, what kind of signal does that send?
It's a huge signal. It tells potential employers that he's a top coder, that he can solve difficult problems, and that he's able to learn quickly. All really important things.
Okay, his open source contributions, especially the comprehensive Git and GitHub tutorial and the GitHub follower notification action bot, what do these highlight?
I think they show that he's not just a coder. He's also a contributor.
Yeah.
He's willing to share his knowledge and help others learn, and that's a really valuable quality.
Absolutely. All right, so we've got this incredibly well-rounded picture, technical breadth, consistent performance, a passion for problem solving, commitment to community. Now let's take a step back and look at his educational journey before university. So he has a higher secondary certificate, HSC, in science. Now, we don't have specific details about the coursework, but how might a strong foundation in science have contributed to his success?
Well, science teaches you how to think critically, how to approach problems systematically, and it gives you a good foundation in logic and math. All of those skills are really valuable in software engineering.
Yeah, it's all connected.
Exactly.
Yeah, it's amazing how it all comes together. Right?
It really is.
Okay, so this has been an incredible deep dive into Sumonta's CV. I mean, we've seen diverse technical skills, impressive hackathon achievements, a dedication to problem solving through competitive programming, open source contributions, and a real passion for creating real-world solutions.
Yeah, he's got it all.
Any final thoughts?
What really strikes me is the combination of, technical excellence, a strong work ethic, and this desire to make a positive impact. I mean, it's clear that he's highly motivated.
Yeah.
And has the skills to have a really successful career.
Yeah, I'm excited to see what he does in the future.
Me too.
All right, so that wraps up this deep dive into Sumonta Saha's impressive skill set. I hope this is giving you some valuable insights. Remember, every journey starts somewhere. And Sumonta's story is a great example of what you can achieve with curiosity, hard work, and a dedication to learning. So keep exploring, keep pushing boundaries, and who knows, maybe someday we'll be doing a deep dive into your incredible achievements.
That'd be awesome.
It would. All right, that's it for us. Thanks for joining us.
Thanks for having me.